Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive deep into the scandalous and chaotic world of our favorite daytime drama. I get the feeling that something huge is being hidden right under our noses, something that could shatter these families forever. What if the person we think is the ultimate mastermind is actually being played and a ghost from a terrifying past is already back in town? If you ask me, the tension we are seeing on screen is reaching an absolute boiling point. We are witnessing suspected poisoning plots, secret meetings, relentless stalking, and deep-seated trauma resurfacing all at once. I feel like we are on the verge of a massive explosion and nobody is truly safe. Let me break down exactly what I think is happening, because the clues are all there if you look closely enough. I want to start with Naomi and Caroline. In my opinion, Naomi is playing a very dangerous game of chess here. From what we saw, it looks like she is applying intense pressure on Caroline, heavily suspecting that Caroline knows all about Haley stepping out on Bill. I think that Naomi knows Caroline is the weak link in Haley's armor. Caroline claims she does not have the hard proof yet, but I feel that she is hiding something major. It seems to me that Naomi is just biding her time, hoping Caroline will finally break her silence when the moment is right. I think Naomi's strategy is brilliant, but incredibly risky. If Haley ever figures out that Caroline is being squeezed for information, I believe Caroline's life could literally be in danger. I could be wrong, but I feel like Caroline is going to crack under the pressure very soon. What do you guys think? Will Caroline be the one to finally expose the truth? Speaking of Haley, the hospital scenes are just wild and completely chaotic. We saw both her and Bill complaining endlessly about not being discharged. Ashley steps in to help, and of course, it appears that Haley gives her massive attitude. I feel like Haley is losing her grip on her perfect wife facade. She seems agitated, impatient, and is starting to make mistakes. Bill demands to see Wilkes and sends Haley away to his office to fetch his laptop. I think this is a huge turning point. Bill might not be as oblivious as he seems. He wants Haley out of the room for a reason, and he uses the laptop as the perfect excuse to get rid of her. Now, here is where it gets crazy. The second Haley is out of sight, it looks like Bill secretly texts Chelsea telling his daughter that he misses her. I think that Bill is starting to realize he might not make it out of this alive, and he is trying to mend fences before it is too late. Or maybe, just maybe, he subconsciously suspects Haley is up to no good and wants Chelsea close by as a layer of protection. I feel that Bill's internal instincts are warning him that the woman sleeping next to him is actually his biggest threat. I could be wrong, but that text to Chelsea felt to me like a desperate cry for help from a man who knows his time is running out. As soon as Haley leaves the hospital, she immediately calls Randy. They appear to meet up at the atrium, and it seems Randy actually leaves Marco to tail Heather just so he can attend this sinister meeting. This brings me to my first major personal theory. I think that Haley is completely unhinged at this point. She seemingly tells Randy that since she cannot finish the job in the hospital with all the nurses around, the next time she poisons Bill, she is going to use the maximum possible dose. I feel that her impatience is going to be her ultimate downfall. She is no longer thinking logically. She is just seeing red and wanting the massive payout. Randy, being the slightly more grounded person in this dynamic, points out what looks like a huge flaw in her plan. He warns her that if she uses a massive dose, Bill might survive but fall into a permanent coma. I think Randy is totally right. A coma would make collecting the life insurance money nearly impossible, and it would leave them stuck waiting indefinitely. But Haley seems cold as ice. She refuses to give up and insists she will find a way. I feel that Haley's desperation is going to lead to a sloppy, catastrophic mistake. I could be wrong, but I think someone is going to catch her in the act of administering that final dose. Now, let's talk about the absolute heartbreak surrounding Chelsea. It looks like Madison accidentally wakes her up from a terrifying nightmare, and it happens to be the exact 1-year anniversary of her kidnapping by Allison. Madison tries her best to comfort her, reminding her that Allison can never hurt her again. But guys, I feel that the past is never truly dead. Trauma like that does not just disappear because a year has passed. I think Chelsea is incredibly vulnerable right now, and her mind is playing tricks on her. Or is it Chelsea starts receiving these terrifying, anonymous phone calls with nothing but heavy breathing on the other end? Kat even witnesses one of these calls, which proves to me that it is not just in Chelsea's head. Chelsea seems entirely convinced that Allison is behind this, but here is an open loop for you. What if it is not Allison? What if someone else is using Chelsea's trauma to distract the family from the real threat? I think that whoever is making those calls knows exactly how to break Chelsea down psychologically. I feel like this could be connected to the broader conspiracy in town. Later, when Kat and Chelsea are trying to discuss their live stream promo, Chelsea just completely breaks down in tears. Kat comforts her, and they bond over their shared hatred for Allison. I feel like this trauma is going to push Chelsea into doing something drastic to protect herself. Meanwhile, the legal drama at the office seems to be escalating to dangerous levels. Tomas informs everyone that Mike is pressing hard for a settlement in the malpractice suit. Naomi appears absolutely furious. In my opinion, Naomi is totally right. I think Mike is just trying to take advantage of Bill's weakened medical state. Tomas, however, wants to weigh all the options and consider the settlement. I think Tomas is just trying to be a pragmatic lawyer, but this makes Naomi see red. She views it as a total betrayal of their family's strength. When Mike actually shows up and starts mocking Naomi, hinting that Bill would struggle to survive a brutal court battle, the tension is palpable. Naomi stands her ground and flat out refuses to settle, and then Bill himself explodes. He blasts Tomas for pressuring his daughter and fiercely declares that his family will never compromise. I think that Bill is using this lawsuit to prove he is still the alpha male despite his failing heart. I feel that this stubbornness might actually cost them everything. I could be wrong, but pride comes before the fall, and Bill has an awful lot of pride right now. Let's shift gears to the absolute chaos at the restaurant. Danny and Andre are trying to have a nice date, and suddenly Heather just appears out of nowhere. Andre is visibly stunned. It is so obvious to me that he knows her from his dark past. After Heather walks away, Andre desperately warns Danny to stay far away from her family. He is trying so hard to hide his panic, but I think Danny is starting to catch on that her husband is hiding massive secrets. I feel that Andre's past is finally catching up to him, and he is terrified of what it means for his marriage. Later, it appears Andre meets Heather privately at a hotel and demands she stop stalking them. Heather completely denies it and even tries to seduce him. Andre stands firm, threatening to expose everything to Danny if Heather does not back off. Heather agrees to leave Danny alone, but only if Andre gives her exactly what she wants. Guys, what could she possibly want? I have a feeling that Andre is holding on to a secret so dark that it could destroy his entire life. Is he indebted to her? Did they commit a crime together? I think whatever Heather wants, it is going to force Andre to cross a line he can never come back from. This leads us to the ultimate showdown. Danny goes to the office to grab the laptop, and who does she run into? Haley. These two immediately start tearing into each other. Danny throws a massive insult, mocking Haley about sneaking around with Randy. Haley fires right back, warning Danny to focus on keeping her own husband. I feel that this confrontation perfectly highlights the incredibly dangerous triangle between Danny, Haley, and Andre. Danny is poking a literal murderer, completely unaware of how lethal Haley truly is. Here is my controversial opinion. I think that Heather and Haley might eventually cross paths and realize they have mutual enemies. Imagine the absolute devastation if the suspected poisoner and the international stalker joined forces. I feel that Andre's secrets and Bill's failing health are creating the perfect storm, and Danny is standing right in the middle of it, completely blind to the danger. I could be wrong, but I truly believe we are going to lose a major character very soon. The stakes have never been this high, and the villains seem to be getting bolder by the second. That's just how I see it. I could be wrong. What do you think? Are we looking at the downfall of these powerful families, or will someone step up and uncover the truth before it is too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.